Evelyn to Philip, March 3rd, 1944. Sweetheart mine, last night I also wrote a letter to Gloria and then decided to post all the letters, although it was 10:30. I had an urge and stopped in Ben's for ice cream. On a chance, I asked if he could possibly spare a box of Milky Ways or O. Henry's, and luckily he had just received an order of Milky Ways. I purchased a whole box of 24 bars and hope to mail it off tomorrow. It weighs almost 5 pounds and is all I can send this trip. Please send me requests from time to time so that I may send packages at liberty. Ben charged me $1.20. Lucky you. I eat very little candy and ice cream. I just don't have an urge for it as often as you do. I was pleasantly surprised when the mailman handed me 2 letters this morning. Yours of the 24th and 26th of February, both lengthy and most enjoyable. I was a little mad when I noted you had skipped again, but the length of the letters made up for it. If you waited till I was rested to write, you'd never get mail from me. And then you want to know why I knock myself silly. I could be dying for sleep and don't get it till I've written. However, I'm gladly forgiving you, as I may be forced to skip sometimes too. Adele simply will not go to sleep before 8 p.m., and this throws off my entire evening, or what's left of it, and it isn't much. Usually at 5:30, when you're concentrating on me, I'm concentrating on feeding Adele between 5 and 5:30. Room for you, though, and I promise to be with you, especially close at that time. I explained to Harry and Goldie about your not writing, and it's okay. I particularly like the way you wrote about our meeting, courtship, marriage, and life together. If I could only write like that. Your letter of the 24th gave a perfect detailed account of how you spend most of your time, and I found it interesting and informative. Have you learned anything from the others on the subject that forms the common ground of man and woman, which seems to be the most absorbing topic of conversation at all times? I hope you won't mind the email, sweet, as I had little hope of filling it up, but seemed to be coming along nicely. I took my new coat to the tailor's, and it will cost exactly $1.50 to clean it and lengthen the sleeves. Goldie left her best pair of shoes at the shoemaker's to be fixed, and now he can't find them. He gave her $3 to compensate for the loss. She paid $6 and doesn't have shoes to wear home when she and Harry leave tomorrow evening. The weather was lovely today, and I was out all day with Adele. She is walking better and knows how to pick herself up all by herself. I met Molly Reisner while walking and chatted for a short while. People are dragging out their porch furniture, and the lawns have blotches of green grass. A sure sign of spring, beautiful spring. I think I've got a good case of spring fever, because I'm awful lonesome and hungry for you these evenings, and can't get you off my mind long enough to get my work completed. Oh, baby, I love you. I'm so hungry for the feel of you that I feel certain I could reach out over 3,000 odd miles and draw you close to my person to fondle and caress. Phil, my dearest, I adore you to pieces. A kiss from your Ev. P.S. Lena and Bob bought a house on Rohrer Street or nearby. Mr. Lieberman loaned them $1,000 and Etta loaned $200. I understand it's an old house. Philip to Evelyn, March 3rd, 1944. Dearest Chippy, still no jackpot, but something almost as good arrived today. That package containing the 2 boxes of Stevens chocolates and the hankies and the V-mail of the 20th of February. Thanks a million for the package, sweet. I really enjoyed the candy, and the hankies were sorely needed. The V-mail telling me that Adele's temperature was now down to 100 was the first intimation I had that she was ailing. I do hope she is well recovered. You also mentioned that the Baders were visitors that day, and that Mrs. Bader made a cotton-pleated skirt for the pumpkin. That was darn nice of her. You may tender my thanks next time you see her. I presume they are frequent visitors. Give my best to the Reisners, too, the next time they visit. Find out what Dave is doing these days. I've been wondering lately just when Goldie expects the newcomer to put in an appearance. Please inform me. Tonight I am the only one left in the hut. The others have all taken off for the movies, the snack bar, or some card game or other. Page 2. Before I started this, I was fooling around with the fire. There's something about a fire, though, that makes me terribly homesick. I sat for an hour and daydreamed of better days I have known, and hope will come soon again. I was busy most of the day completing the financial business of the company. Thank God that's over till next month. Day after tomorrow I'm due for a pass, but I've already written to Ed advising him that I can't take it then. I asked him to set a date later in the month. I still have a few pounds that I am saving for that purpose. Nothing else to report tonight, baby, so I'll take my leave of you for the time being with a fond goodnight kiss. My love to the pumpkin and the family. Lovingly, your Phil.